What's going on, guys? Welcome back to BlackTideTV, bringing you the best of all things gaming Monday to Friday. Yesterday, I did not post a video, so you are getting two videos today. The first of which actually came out a couple hours ago. It was a new First Look Reticles episode on the first two special multiplayer reticles for the Reflex site, Fungal and Floppy. So you might want to go and check that video out. Right after you watch this one, I'll put a link to it in the description of this video. I'll also put a card in the top right corner, or you can just find it on my channel or in your sub box or wherever you usually find BlackTideTV videos. Now, jumping right into this CARLLL Golden Weapon review, I just want to say right before we get started, thanks for everybody for participating in the Twitter polls this week. I will not actually be doing a Twitter poll after this episode. We already have like the next 3 Golden Weapon reviews set up just because we have to finish off this tier, and then I already had a vote for the first weapon in the next tier. So we are pretty well set up from now until probably next week with Golden Weapon reviews. I am going to try to make more Golden Weapon reviews every day. I'm going to try and do like one every second day or something like that because we have a ton to get through, and I really want to do my camo showcases before this game is completely done. With all this Infinite Warfare stuff going on right now, I really want to get my camo showcase series underway. We can't do that until all the Golden Weapon reviews are done. So let's jump right into this review on the CARLLL. So the CARLLL is a secondary weapon. It's a machine pistol, and it is unlocked last in terms of all the secondary weapons in the game. It would be the best secondary weapon in the game if not for the additions of the DLC weapons, the Marshall 16 pistols, shotgun pistols, and the NX Shadowclaw crossbow, which both can deal a serious one-shot kill at considerable range. So to further this weapon's embarrassment, even further than adding these add-on weapons that just completely destroy it, this weapon has received a ton of nerfs since its original appearance in game. At launch, the CARLLL most often killed in like 4 shots, rivaling many of the primary submachine guns. So it was right on par with a lot of the SMGs in this game, and it was really great. It was literally a pocket SMG. Nowadays, it's only going to kill in like 5 or 6 shots, depending on your situation, with factors like range and obstacles in your way and health regeneration all playing their part in your gunfight. So it's going to be like between 5 and 6 shots. I find it's actually almost 6 shots all the time now, especially when you're using it as a primary, when you're running around with it. Maybe if you're using it the way that you should, really up close and personal, it'll be like a 5-shot kill most of the time. So it still has that 4-shot kill potential, but that's like barrel stuffing range. Like any other gun in the game is doing like 3 shots to kill, just dominating you at that range, and you're still getting a 4-shot kill. This weapon actually was a 3-shot kill when it was first brought into the game, and it was absolutely unstoppable. Now it's a minimum 4-shot kill and a maximum like 6-shot kill, or maybe even 7-shot kill. So this thing's pretty weak now, although it's still probably the best base secondary weapon in the game. Like I said, the Marshall 16 and NX Shadowclaw don't really count as weapons that I would compare to this, just because they're DLC weapons. It's all luck of the draw if you're going to get those. So as far as other attributes go, the CARLLL has very fast fire rate, and it's got a small medium magazine to match. So don't expect to kill 2 or more enemies in a single clip unless you're running extended mags, and never ever try to kill 3 people with a single magazine, extended magazine or not. You always want to reload whenever you're done shooting this weapon, because it's just got this crazy fire rate, and because it's got a pretty low damage, you're looking at 5 shots to kill at least. Usually if there's 5 shots to kill, it's going to take you about maybe 9 shots to get those 5 shots on. You're going to want to reload this weapon a lot. Reload it after every single engagement. Do not waste time or waste your time basically not reloading this weapon and expecting to get the next guy with only 9 bullets left in your clip. It's not going to happen. Just reload after every single engagement. So on our side, on the player's side, the lucky part of this weapon is that the weapon actually reloads pretty quickly. So it does give you the chance to reload. If you're on a kill chain and you kill one guy and you reload, you're gonna have that chance of being able to reload before you get to the next guy. It's got a pretty quick reload. I still like to stack fast mags on there as well, but we'll talk about that when we get to the attachments section of this video. So finally, the iron sights are magical. You should never ever run an optic on this gun. You shouldn't run optics on the secondary weapons in general. I mean, maybe the NX Shadow Claw, but I mean, I've seen that a lot of people just like to run that akimbo. I don't know. I don't have the Shadow Claw, but what I would say is just don't run optics on any secondary weapon in this game. What's the point? They're all super close range weapons, especially this one. It's got crazy recoil, and the recoil seems even harder to control when you have optics on there. Just don't run optics. It just doesn't even make sense. It's just a wasted attachment. You might as well put an extra, you might as well use that for a wild card so you can put another important attachment on this weapon instead. So all in all, this machine pistol is pretty well a pocket SMG. It's not as powerful as it once was, but it can still be put to some good use. Remember how everyone used to use their sniper rifles and then they'd run overkill with an SMG primary for their secondary weapon? You don't need to do that in Black Ops 3. Instead, you can just run a sniper rifle and use the CARLLL as your secondary. Throw a couple attachments on there instead of using your wild card with overkill. Use a wild card and get your secondary gunfighter. I think it's called secondary gunfighter, where you get more attachments on your secondary weapon, and you should be good. So now, although I am using the CARLLL as a primary in this video, I would not recommend that you use it as a primary when you're actually in the game. I would not recommend this gameplay for its actual intended use. What I would say is the CARLLL is the best. It's best used as a secondary to really long-range weapons like sniper rifles, Shivas, LMGs like the Gorgon maybe. Any assault rifle or LMG that you like to put a recon or similar long-range optic on, you should probably use this as a secondary weapon just in case somebody gets too close. You can just take it out really quick and just obliterate them, and you don't have to worry about trying to aim in like with some kind of stupid like a thermal sight or something trying to get an enemy that's really close to you. You don't need to worry about that. You can just take out this weapon, and it's a pocket SMG, and you can just hose them down and then take your sniper rifle or whatever else back out and engage enemies at longer ranges again. So it also makes a great secondary weapon for SMGs with a low ammo count and high fire rate. So weapons like the Vesper that you're just spraying down range like a ton of bullets, that especially now that the Vesper's actually been nerfed a lot, this makes for a great secondary for that. For when you run out of bullets, if you're still in a gunfight, you can whip this out and keep fighting your enemies. So I've previously stated that if you want to use a secondary weapon as a primary weapon in Black Ops 3, you should probably use the MR6, as it's the best one to use as a primary weapon, just because there's so much more control that you have over it. It's just so much easier to use as a primary weapon. So because of that, I'm not going to give you a primary weapon class build for the CARLLL. I'm not going to tell you how to run this weapon if you want to run it as a primary, just because I do not endorse that. What I'm going to tell you instead, so I'm going to give you some class builds. I'm going to give you a long-range primary class build and an SMG primary class build. So depending on what kind of class build you want, you can take the attachments and perks and whatever else of my advice from this section of the video. So let's talk long-range first. Long range, you're going to want to use your whatever long range weapon you have. You'll probably want to use these for perks. So Sixth Sense is going to be really great for if you're aiming down your sights or something, you've got a thermal sight on, whatever, and somebody approaches you from behind, somebody's sneaking up on you. You've got that Sixth Sense, you'll notice them on the minimap. You've got your time to switch out to your secondary weapon, switch out to your CARLLL and shoot them. You've got fast hands, which is like highly recommended. If you take anything from this episode, use fast hands if you're using this as a secondary weapon so you can take it out quicker. It just makes sense. So fast hands, awareness, so you can hear enemies approaching. This is basically like this long range class is basically like hardcore at the back of the map sniping, like aiming down sights and sniping. You're going to want these kind of perks like Sixth Sense and Awareness, so if an enemy is trying to sneak up on you or something, you'll get the drop on them. You'll know they're coming, so you have the time to take out your secondary weapon. Shock charges can work as well. If you're in kind of like a closed-in area, use your shock charges. Don't let them get close to you. When your shock charge goes off, when they're coming through that door behind you, you take out your CARLLL. Now, as far as attachments go for this, you can use dual wield, you can use quick draw, or you can use laser sight. Whatever you like the best. If you think that dual wield is going to do you good, make sure that you're in a very close range area when you're using the CARLLL. That's the only thing I have to say about dual wield, is that you do not want to be even attempting short/medium range. You just only want to be in short barrel stuffing range if you're using these things akimbo. Quick draw is my personal favorite. I like to use quick draw for when I'm using this weapon as a secondary, just because I like to be able to take out my weapon really quick with fast hands and then aim down sights very quickly with quick draw. Laser is also a great option. SMG, for your SMG class build, you're going to want to use fast hands. Again, it's obvious. Ghost this is for if you're using the first attachment recommendation I have, which is a suppressor. Now, suppressor can be really cool to use this with because you can have a primary weapon that's really loud, really balls to the wall. You can use your secondary weapon as a suppressed kind of stealthy weapon. So you get into their spawn, you take out your LCAR-9, and you go to town. You can also use high caliber, extended mags, whatever you like. And if you want to use the weapon and then pull out this weapon when you're getting down on ammo, when you need an extra weapon for your gunfight, then you can use extended mags or high caliber or something like that. Now, my personal variant, the LCAR-9 CARLLL. You got to say it like that. It's CARLLL because it's inspired by The Walking Dead. It's not Carl, it's CARLLL. So the LCAR-9 CARLLL has suppressor and fast mags. Like I said, this is just the variant that I'm using in this gameplay, or in the gameplay that you were watching. It looks like we've gone into a second gameplay at this point, just because I've found that I needed to talk about this a little bit too long. But the suppressor and fast mags is really great, just because that's just the way to run it when you're using it primary. You got to be really stealthy with it. If you're going to use it as a primary, it doesn't really compete with the SMGs or the assault rifles or anything like that. So you got to really strategically use this weapon, kind of get around your enemies and be really stealthy. And that's what the suppressor is really great for. Fast mags to reload after every single engagement. Like I said, it's very, very hard to engage more than one enemy with this weapon, with the magazine size as it is, especially when you're using suppressor and it's taking maybe 1 or 2 extra shots to kill. Now, as far as specialists go, you should suit them to your primary weapon. Do not suit them to the LCAR-9. However, if you really need a specialist so you can give yourself a little bit of extra time so you can swap to that LCAR-9, Heat Wave, Glitch, Kinetic Armor, and Active Camo are all great if an enemy catches you off guard and you need to switch to the LCAR-9. Use your specialist ability, switch out, and then spray them down. That's all I have today. That's all I have for you today, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, leave it a like, subscribe if you're new. We're going to be doing a lot more Golden Weapon reviews in the days to come. Like I said, I want to get to these. I want to get to my camo showcases that I did for Advanced Warfare in this game as well. But I have to get through my Golden Weapon reviews first. So we're going to try and do these a little bit more. The next Golden Weapon review is going to be on the Gorgon. Hopefully, I'll get that one out this week. That's it for this. That's it for today's video, guys. I hope you enjoyed. Thanks a lot for watching, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.